Inappropriate only. So somebody that's really good at saying inappropriate shit. Y'all welcome to the stage, Dustin Kirkland.
Check 1, 2. Yeah, I like this one. I'm gonna use the Native American mic stand. Cause it's red, get it? Hardy, hard, hard. Oh. Thank you for everybody that's here to listen to my nonsense. Side note, I got this water because it was like 2 for $4 and it looked cool. It tastes like sink water, but the bottle was cool. So I'm gonna use this stand for nothing because it's gonna fall. All right, so this. Look at that shit. Y'all thought everything. Y'all probably put beer in there, right?
No beer in there. No. Yeah, I got you.
There we go. So I'm not wearing a hat right now. I'm just sweating like a whore in church. So.
I think I know that girl.
Yeah. I was married to her for a minute. So here's a new twist on an old classic. All right, y'all ready? How do you circumcise a Muslim? You kick his goat in the jaw. Here's the original that I put a play on.
We're going to hell for running this.
Yeah. How do you circumcise a redneck? Kick his sister in the jaw. That's an old one, right? All right, so it's July 1st. Thank God. Got over the butt sex month. Everybody make it? Everybody good? I made it. So in honor of July 1st, I call it American History Month. We're going to learn something today. Do y'all know who brought mac and cheese to America? Who made mac and cheese a staple of American cuisine? Who made mac and cheese popular? Nobody knows that?
I don't have a clue. Why would I know that shit?
Because it's American history. We should know this.
I don't give a fuck.
Well, you're about to learn. All right? And I think it's a good trade-off because this particular individual gets a lot of shit because he used to bang his slaves and whatever. And I'm telling you what, if I was a slave, I would prefer to be owned by this guy, not some toothless redneck with a whip, Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson is the reason we all get to enjoy craft dinner. So I think that's a good trade-off. He had sex with his slaves, and I'm not sure if he beat them, but he gave us mac and cheese. I think it's a good trade-off, right? See, that's the thing. I'm pretty sure they did. They lived on a big, nice property, and they're getting mac and cheese, and they weren't having to eat pig buttholes like the other ones. And now it's like, oh, that's my culture. Pig buttholes is terrible. They call them chitlins. I don't know. My ex-wife loved them. Ugh. They smell exactly the way they taste, like slave food. That is exactly slave food. All right. So, anybody go to that fireworks thing in Kiowa the other day? That Kiowa fireworks display? That was really cool to watch. And me and my girlfriend are sitting there watching it. And the spot we could see where the fireworks were coming from. It was a great spot. And then the guy next to me, I look over, and he's watching the fireworks show like this. The whole fucking show through his phone. And I was baffled. I'm like, dude, if you just go like this, you can see the damn thing in like high definition, like the highest of definition. And then I'm thinking, like, who's gonna watch that piece of shit? Like, no one. Like, honestly, he could have downloaded generic fireworks show, posted it, and be like, that's what I watched. Because, like, honestly, if you're on Facebook and your friend posts a fireworks show from Kiowa, are you stopping to watch that? No, you just like it and move on.
I mean, like in Hawaii when everything's catching on fire.
Yeah, I mean, no one's going to fucking watch a fireworks show and think unless, something exciting happens. Like if people are probably going to die. But I'm like, it made me think of Einstein. He said the better technology gets, the dumber people are going to get. And it's true. He watched the whole fireworks show, through his phone. We filmed it for nobody. Nobody's going to watch that shit. So I'm like, whatever. Has anybody ever been cow tipping?
I do a bunch of cow tipping.
All right, here's the thing I learned. It's impossible. It's not real. You can't tip a cow. No, you can't. You know how I know? Because I've tried. and you're not going to do it. So anybody who ever says I'm a cow tipper is a bald-faced liar. And they probably demand that their uncle touches them. Yeah, so cow tippers are liars, and they shouldn't get to vote either. All right, so when I was in Iraq, one thing, if you ask anybody who's ever been deployed to Iraq, you ask them what's in the porta potties, and the first thing they say is Chuck Norris facts. Like you sit there, you sit there and that big. I used to call them shit saunas because it's a fucking 140 degrees. And one time, I shit you not, listen to this shit. I walk into the porta potty, and there's a mountain of shit over the hole, like literally like this, like the hole's here, and there's shit like that. Right? So you know what my brain said? You know what they were doing? They were doing like this. And they're building. They're building. Because you can't sit down on that. They were over the top building. I'm thinking that's dedication. So I didn't go to that one. But I went to the next one, which is a little bit better. Still shit sauna. Anyway, you're sitting down, you're reading Chuck Norris facts, like stupid ones like Chuck Norris is suing NBC, claiming Law and Order is the trademark name of his left and right leg. Chuck Norris lost his virginity before his father. Chuck Norris's dick is so big it has its own dick, and Chuck Norris's dick is bigger than your dick. Shit like that. Well, the best one I ever saw, so I'm sitting there taking my dump, and I'm looking at the door, and it goes, any man can piss on the floor, but Chuck Norris can shit on the ceiling. And there's an arrow pointing up. I'm like, I don't want to look. But I did. And I looked up, and sure enough, there's shit smeared all over the ceiling. I'm like, well, that had to be a Marine. There's no way it wasn't. And he probably used his hands and then went home and ate chow. So here's another story from Iraq. We had this sergeant, his name was Parkany. I won't put his name out there because he's a piece of shit. You'll find out why. He had a PSP. Y'all remember those little portable PlayStations? And there's the older soldier that's like, hey, can I play your PSP? And he's like, whatever. And he's playing on it. And he finds child pornography in this thing. Yeah. So he immediately turns him in. Parkany disappears. We don't know. Well, he's probably went to Leavenworth. That's the only place you can send him. I mean, you do some shit like that in the military, crucifixion time. As well it should be. So Parkany gets turned in and shit. So this other kid, Bascom, a lower enlisted, he goes on leave in R&R to Florida. Gets arrested for having sex with a 15-year-old. I'm like, high pot, meat kettle. But I think it was like, think about it. Like, he turned him in and got his self-talk. Talk about two birds, right? Right? And then so another porta potty thing, I'm sitting there taking a dump, and I read on the thing, it says, Sergeant Parkany and Specialist Bascom's favorite movie is Spy Kids. I was like, that's a good one. Cool thing I learned in basic training. Y'all ever heard of a bullet sponge? A bullet sponge. So they say a team goes in to clear a room, and the first guy goes down, first guy gets shot and goes down. You grab him and you use him to soak up all the bullets, right? So when we found out about that, one of the things we were told, like, if we ever turn into a bullet sponge, our family won't be notified about it. I'm like, that's fucking bullshit. I want my family to know. If I'm a bullet sponge, fucking tell them. Open casket, too. Fuck yeah. I want the whole world to see me look like Swiss cheese for America. I was like, my dad would be like, that's fucking cool. My mom did freak her out a little bit, which is exactly why I want her to know. Just fuck with her. You know why? Because like my mom was 15 when she had me. And like it's like having a little or a big sister when you're growing up. Like she used to put me and my brother in a sleeping bag and spin us around and tell us that we're on a ceiling fan. Yeah. Like we kept fucking up. She's like, get in the bag. And she spin us around screaming. And shit like that. She told me and my brother that the rumble strips on the highway so blind people could drive in Braille. Stuff like that. Oh, she told us Jason Voorhees is out in the woods, and if we act up, he'll come through the window after us. Shit like that. Yeah, shit like that. Yeah, I love my mom. She, I don't blame her for being insane. She had to raise 6 kids. I mean, as a little kid, yeah, you believe everything your mother tells you. I mean, you don't remember being a kid, you're like, man, my parents know everything. My parents are great. And then you get older and you're like, man, my parents are just as crazy as I am. They don't fucking have it either. speaking of the whole pardon pedophile thing, I was thinking about if you become a child sex offender or a pedophile, I think it would be helpful to the economy even if you strip them of all their humanity. They're not humans no more, they're objects. Think about all the medical advancements we can go through if we just test them on pedophiles. Think about it. You know? Think about how safer cars would be instead of a crash test dummy, you just put a pedophile in there. Let that motherfucker hit the wall. All right, just boom. What hurts? Okay, so we need to pad this because his brain's out. It's so much better crash. I say send 4 or 5, 10 of them to each police department and start working on your own like RoboCop program. Just start cutting heads off and attaching it to like whatever Elon Musk has been coming up with. That's awesome, right? Send pedophiles to Elon Musk. Let them start making cyborgs. We could have an army of cyborgs just marching for, whatever, Israel. Huh? Well, if they're diddling kids, yeah, absolutely. I think as soon as you diddle a kid, you should just be castrated. Oh, not all of them. Some of them are just trying to do a job. Some of them are trying to diddle kids. I'm just going after the kid diddlers. The ones that are like, oh, that kid, look at him. Which weirds me out. I never understood pedophiles. Because kids smell like piss. So I guess if you get turned on by people that smell like piss, I guess you're in like golden showers and shit, which piss throws me off. Like I don't care. Like I don't care how hot you are or how good. As soon as you smell bad, it's over with. I can't do it. I don't do smells. She's good looking, but she starts smelling like it reminds me of this joke my grandpa told me. Do you know why you don't eat 90-year-old pussy? You know what it tastes like? Depends. Yeah, I love that joke. My grandpa was great. But yeah, I mean, you can even turn them into like slavery. You can bring back slavery with pedophiles. Just cut their hands and their dicks off and just make them to where they can cut hedges and push mowing, wash dishes, take their eyes out. They don't need to see. They're not real people anymore. As soon as you diddle a kid, you should just medical experiment time. Like Heisenberg kind of shit and Himmler. That kind of bring that back. Like test vaccines. We want to figure out how to cure blindness. Just fucking pedophiles. And then when you're done, send them down the chute. Yeah. So, here's another thing. I put death matches. How fun that'd be. Make them fight each other to the death. That'd be really cool. That'd be awesome. Put them on an island. Make them survive. Fight each other. Tell them that the one person that survives, gets to have his freedom back, and then he gets a little parade, and at the end of the parade, somebody shoots him. Bam, bam! Just like, shoots him in the legs first so he can process everything. Oh, what? It's like, we're fucking around, dude. You diddled a kid. Bam! So, yeah. So, if you think about across this country, I'll wrap it up around here. Think about this country. How many people do you think are chained underneath a porch right now? It's not zero. It's not zero. Think about it. How many people right now are underneath a porch and need help? Think of it. Yeah. I was just driving through Arkansas, and I was looking about all the porch space they got. I'm thinking about all these Netflix. I'm thinking, one day I was just driving. I'm thinking I was expecting to see a finger come through, like help me, like help me, help me. It's not zero, right? So we need to have an awareness for these people, porch people awareness, right? And I know what you're thinking. That's in February. That's history. That's history. It's different. I ran that joke by my daughter, and she was like, "I'm a half porch person." I'm like, "That's not what I'm talking about." So, you want to hear a quick story, real quick? All right, I'll wrap it up with this story. So, my grandpa was real into trees and fruit trees and stuff like that, and he had a persimmon tree down in Livingston, and me and him built a cage around it because the squirrels kept getting his fucking persimmons.
You ever eat a persimmon?
If you don't eat them before they're ripe, yeah, they're not good. So that's part of the story. It's funny. I'll tell you about it. Anyway, so I had a buddy from Mexico who worked death row with me. His name was Ruiz. And Ruiz came over to help me because the tree finally died during remember that real bad freeze we had a couple years ago? It killed the tree. And it killed a couple of his other citrus trees. So I helped him dig them all up and burn them. So we had these holes all in his yard. And then the big persimmon tree, so he comes over and he's like, "Why was there a cage around that tree?" And my grandpa's over there. So I'm like, That's a Japanese jumping tree. He's like, what? I'm like, that's a Japanese jumping tree. My grandpa got it. I was like, what it does is on a full moon, that son of a bitch will uproot and move. He's like, nuh-uh. I was like, okay, look at that hole. Look at that hole. Look at that hole. He's like, oh my God. I was like, yeah, it keeps, so we had to put a cage around it because it'll root, and then once it bumps to the cage, it'll just root itself back. He's like, no fucking way. I was like, yeah. So he's just looking, and I was telling him, by the time my grandpa showed up, I was telling him about how the jumping tree had gotten back into my grandma's aunt's, like we had family in the back, had gotten into her yard. And he's thinking about this tree that got loose that we're just chasing around with the full moon, right? And he's believing the whole fucking thing. So my grandpa comes over, and up to the side, I tell my grandpa the story. My grandpa is dying laughing. And he's dying laughing. At that point, I'm trying to tell him to settle down. At that point, that's when he figured out, like, I think he's fucking bullshitting me. So yeah, the Japanese jumping tree. You can tell foreigners anything. Really, they'll believe anything. All right, I love you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.